a sea of caps and gowns, proud families cheering, and headlines warning about student debt. These images have become symbols of a dream and a dilemma. For generations, a university degree was seen as a golden ticket to a better life, a path almost everyone was told to follow. But today, the world is changing fast. The cost of university has soared, job markets are shifting, and more people are questioning whether the old promise still holds true. Is a degree still the safest path, or has the ground quietly shifted beneath our feet? In this documentary, we'll examine whether a university degree still pays off in today's economy. We'll look at the real numbers, the hidden risks, and the everyday stories behind the statistics. The answer isn't as simple as it used to be. For many families, the hope attached to a degree is powerful. Parents encourage their children to go to college, believing it's the surest way to a stable career and financial security. High schoolers feel the pressure as they fill out applications, imagining their futures depend on acceptance letters. But as the cost of higher education rises and the job market evolves, the old equation degree equals success faces new challenges. Today, we'll explore what's really at stake and what it means for ordinary people trying to make the right choice. Most people still believe that a university degree is a ticket to a good job. It's a belief passed down through generations, reinforced by stories of graduates climbing the economic ladder. The message is clear: education is the key to opportunity. This belief shapes the decisions of millions. Parents save for years, sometimes sacrificing their own comfort to send their children to college. Students study hard, fueled by the hope that their efforts will pay off in the form of a stable, well-paying job. But beneath this optimism lies a growing sense of anxiety. The pressure to succeed is intense, and the financial stakes are higher than ever. For many families, investing in education feels like betting their future on a single roll of the dice. The rising cost of university has changed the conversation. Tuition fees have climbed steadily, and living expenses in college towns have soared. For many, the sticker price of a degree now feels overwhelming, even before factoring in books and other essentials. Consider a student opening their tuition bill for the semester. The number is staggering, and the family gathers around the kitchen table to discuss how they'll pay for it. Loans become a necessity, and the promise of future earnings is weighed against years of debt. Student debt in many countries has reached record highs. In the United States alone, total student loan debt has surpassed $1.7 trillion. For many graduates, monthly loan payments eat into their budgets for years, delaying milestones like buying a home or starting a family. The economic trade-off is stark. The upfront investment in a degree is bigger than ever, and the risks are real. Students and families must ask themselves, what are we really buying with this money, and is the return still worth the cost? For some, the answer is clear. They see the degree as a necessary credential, a stepping stone to a better life. For others, the fear of debt and uncertainty about the job market make the decision much harder. The stakes have never felt higher. The job market itself is shifting beneath our feet. In the past, a degree was often a direct ticket to a professional job. Today, many graduates find themselves working in roles unrelated to their field of study, or struggling to land a job at all. Employers continue to list degree required on job postings, even for entry-level positions that may not truly need advanced education. This creates a paradox. Degrees are more expensive, but also more necessary just to get a foot in the door. Underemployment is a growing concern. Many graduates work in jobs that don't require a degree, such as retail or service roles. The rise of gig work and contract jobs means that even with a diploma, job security is far from guaranteed. Automation and technology are reshaping entire industries. Some jobs that once provided stable careers for graduates are disappearing, while new fields emerge that don't always require traditional degrees. The landscape is more complex and unpredictable than ever. This uncertainty breeds frustration among recent graduates. After years of study and thousands in debt, many feel let down by a system that promised more than it delivered. The emotional toll can be as heavy as the financial burden. Despite these challenges, the data still shows that, on average, university graduates earn more over their lifetimes than those without degrees. This is known as the college wage premium, and it remains a powerful incentive for many. But averages can be misleading. The wage premium varies dramatically by field of study, institution, and even geographic location. A degree in engineering or medicine may pay off handsomely, while other fields offer more modest returns. Imagine two friends graduating high school. One chooses university, the other enters the workforce or pursues a trade. Years later, they compare paychecks and career satisfaction. Their experiences may be wildly different, shaped by choices, luck, and the economy. For some, the degree opens doors to high-paying jobs and rapid advancement. For others, the payoff is less clear, especially if they studied in fields with limited demand or attended institutions with lower reputations in the job market. The economic trade-off is nuanced. The value of a degree depends not just on having one, but on what you study, where you study, and your personal circumstances. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and the risks and rewards are unevenly distributed. Some students face even higher risks. Those who drop out before finishing their degree often end up with debt but no credential to show for it. The financial and emotional consequences can be severe, leaving them worse off than if they'd never enrolled. Others graduate but struggle to find work in their chosen field. Oversaturated job markets, regional economic downturns, or simply bad timing can leave even the most diligent students searching for opportunities that never materialize. The anxiety and disappointment of these situations are real. For every success story, there are stories of graduates working multiple jobs, moving back home, or feeling trapped by debt and limited prospects. The promise of a degree doesn't always deliver. Students from disadvantaged backgrounds often face the steepest hurdles. They may lack the family support or financial safety net to weather setbacks, making the risks of higher education even greater. The system's rewards are not evenly shared. Meanwhile, the alternatives to university are gaining traction. Trade schools, apprenticeships, and entrepreneurship offer different paths to success. These options often come with lower upfront costs and faster entry into the workforce. Consider a young person who chooses to become an electrician or a software developer through a boot camp. They may start earning sooner, avoid massive debt, and build valuable skills. For some, these paths offer a more direct route to financial stability. Employers are slowly beginning to value skills and experience more than just credentials. Some companies have dropped degree requirements altogether, focusing instead on what candidates can actually do. This shift is gradual, but it's changing the landscape. Despite these changes, the mindset that degree equals success still dominates. Many families and communities view university as the only respectable option, even as evidence mounts that alternatives can be just as rewarding for the right person. The economic trade-off for alternatives isn't simple either. While they may offer lower costs and quicker returns, they can also carry risks, such as limited upward mobility, fewer safety nets, or vulnerability to economic shifts in specific industries. Society as a whole is grappling with degree inflation. As more people earn degrees, employers raise the bar, requiring credentials for jobs that once didn't need them. This puts pressure on those without degrees, making it harder to compete even for roles that don't truly require advanced education. In some communities, nearly every job now asks for a degree, regardless of whether the work has changed. This leaves non-degree holders feeling left behind, forced to choose between taking on debt or accepting lower wages and fewer opportunities. The impact on social mobility is profound. Where a degree once opened doors to new worlds, it now often feels like the bare minimum just to keep up. Those who can't afford the investment risk being locked out of the middle class entirely. For many, the sense of being left behind is more than financial. It's a feeling of exclusion, of being told that their skills and experiences don't count unless stamped with a diploma. This can erode confidence and limit ambition. At the same time, the pressure to go to university can drive students into debt for degrees that may not pay off. The fear of missing out on opportunities pushes some to enroll, even when the fit isn't right, leading to higher dropout rates and wasted resources. The old belief that a degree is a guaranteed ticket to success is no longer true. The reality is more complex, filled with trade-offs, risks, and uncertainties that each person must weigh for themselves. For some, the degree remains a powerful tool, a way to break cycles of poverty, access new careers, or fulfill personal dreams. For others, it's a burden that limits their freedom and financial stability for years to come. The smartest question is no longer simply, should I go to university? Instead, it's, what am I hoping to achieve? And is this the best path to get there? This shift in thinking can open up new possibilities and prevent costly mistakes. Families and students now face a landscape where every choice carries weight. The hope, fear, and uncertainty are real, and the consequences can last a lifetime. The stakes are higher, but so are the opportunities for those who look beyond the old script. The value of a degree is not just about money. It's about access, status, and the sense of belonging in a society that still prizes credentials. But it's also about risk, debt, and the possibility of disappointment. Some graduates find meaning and satisfaction in their studies, regardless of the financial payoff. Others feel trapped by the need to justify the cost, measuring their worth by their paycheck or job title. The emotional journey of higher education is often overlooked. The pride of graduation, the stress of debt, the uncertainty of job searches. These are all part of the story, shaping lives in ways that numbers alone can't capture. As the world continues to change, so must our understanding of what education is worth. The old formulas no longer apply, and the path to success is more varied than ever before. For policymakers, the challenge is to create systems that reward skills and effort, not just credentials. For employers, it's about recognizing talent wherever it's found, not just in those with the right piece of paper. For individuals, the challenge is to see through the myths and make choices that reflect their own goals, strengths, and circumstances. There is no universal answer, only the need for honest reflection and careful planning. The deepest trade-off at the heart of the university question is between risk and reward. Investing in a degree can open doors, but it can also close them if the costs outweigh the benefits or if the payoff never materializes. The old belief that a degree guarantees success is incomplete. It ignores the growing number of people for whom the promise fell short and the many paths to fulfillment that don't require a diploma. The smarter question isn't whether a degree is worth it for everyone, but what kind of education, training, or experience best matches your goals and the realities of the world you're entering. For many, the hope of a better life through education remains powerful. But so is the fear of debt, disappointment, or being left behind. The uncertainty is real, and the stakes are personal. As the world changes, the value of a degree must be re-examined, not just for individuals, but for society as a whole. The real challenge is to build a system where opportunity isn't tied to a single, expensive credential. The real mistake isn't skipping university or choosing a different path. The real mistake is making one of the biggest decisions of your life just because everyone else told you there was only one respectable choice. A university degree is no longer a golden ticket, but it's not worthless either. It's a complex economic decision shaped by personal goals, market realities, and the willingness to accept risk. The world is full of stories, of graduates who soared and of those who struggled, of people who found success in unexpected places and of those who discovered that the old rules no longer applied. The lesson isn't to reject higher education, but to question the assumptions behind it. To see education as a tool, not a guarantee, and to recognize that value comes in many forms, not all of them measured in dollars. As families and students face these choices, the emotions are real: hope, fear, pride, and doubt. The stakes are high, but so is the potential for growth, learning, and new beginnings. In the end, the value of a degree is not a simple equation. It's a story of trade-offs, risks, and rewards that each person must write for themselves. The future belongs to those who are willing to rethink what success really means. As society evolves, so must our definition of achievement. The diploma on the wall is only one measure among many. What matters most is finding a path that fits your life, your values, and the world as it is, not as it once was. The real question isn't whether a university degree is still worth it, but whether we're asking the right questions about education, opportunity, and what it means to build a good life in a changing world. The world doesn't stand still, and neither should our ideas about success. The time has come to look beyond the diploma, to value skills, experiences, and the many ways people contribute to society. Perhaps the most important lesson is this: success is not defined by a single path. It's found in the courage to choose your own, even when it means challenging the expectations of those around you. The university degree may no longer be a golden ticket, but neither is it a dead end. It's one option among many, each with its own risks and possibilities. The choice is yours, but the consequences are real. As we rethink the value of a degree, we must also rethink what it means to live a successful, meaningful life. The answers are more complex than ever, but so are the opportunities for those willing to look beyond the obvious. In the end, the real mistake is not in the path you choose, but in letting fear or tradition make the choice for you. The world is changing, and so must our understanding of what education is truly worth. A diploma can open doors, but it can also become a burden if pursued without purpose. The real value lies in knowing why you're investing, what you hope to gain, and whether the risks align with your dreams. The safest path is no longer the one everyone else is taking. It's the one that fits your own goals, your own circumstances, and the realities of a world in motion. That's the lesson for today's students and families. As the dust settles on old assumptions, a new question emerges, one that matters more than ever. Is it time to rethink what success looks like beyond the diploma?